Alex Collier, more lecture material from a January 1996 lecture -1996. Original transcript by Val Valerian. The Moon. Q. Could you elaborate more on the nature of Earth's moon? AC. The moon is quite the enigma. Apparently, it was brought here 11,213 years ago in what we know as the month of March. It came here as a base, carrying extraterrestrials coming here to colonize. They did in fact colonize. Many of what is left of them are living underground on Earth from 100-200 miles beneath the surface. Now, I've gotten a lot of crap for talking about this, but I'm just not going to shut up. The beings that brought this satellite in orbit around Earth are responsible for over 31,000 human children disappearing from the surface of the Earth. Over 100,000 children per year are vanishing from the surface of the Earth, and the world governments know about this. There was a full-out war on the moon about 9,600 years ago between the Orion group and the Pleiadians. They are now at war again, and there are skirmishes happening now outside our solar system between the Pleiadians and the Greys. Q. Did our astronauts really go there? AC. I know there has been a lot of talk about this. Many of the pictures that you have seen from the surface of the moon were faked, because the actual pictures showed that there was stuff all over the place. Yes, they did go, but there was manipulation of the result involved. Marini has told me that the United States government has 53 of its own discs stationed on the moon. The astronauts were told to shut up and not say anything. Marini has told me that the gravity on the bottom of Copernicus crater is equal to that in Chicago, Illinois. Apparently, it is not the rotation of planets that creates gravity, but some aspect of solar radiation. I know this flies in the face of what you have been told, but it is a fact. Now, our moon does not turn on its axis. We always see only 59% of it. Our moon is the only one that does that. The depiction of NASA's view of how moon bases would look in a 1958 issue of National Geographic is in fact exactly what they actually built on the moon in February 1958. When Kennedy said, "We are going to send men to the moon," part of our government, the NSA, was already there. The humans on the moon are aliens by birth, they're with extraterrestrials. You can read between the lines to gauge the implications of that last statement. Now, you don't hear much about the Russian space program, but let me tell you something. They are also a major player on the moon. They don't work for us, but for the international bankers, who are the new priesthood. According to the Andromedans, there were 9 huge domed cities on the moon on the far side, and these domes housed up to 5 million extraterrestrials at one time. There was water, vegetation and everything. These covered hundreds of square miles. When Richard Hoagland shows you pictures of the shards that are miles in height, he's right. There's an atmosphere on the far side of the moon. The astronauts took pictures of clouds. Along the equator on the far side of the moon, there is a pyramid. There are 4 pyramids on the moon. According to the Andromedans, almost all the planets in our solar system have pyramids on them. Some people say they are tombs, but the Andromedans say that these are weights, and if you put them in strategic location they balance the rotation of the planet. This means if the ETs are there colonizing, the planetary system needs to be balanced. That's why the pyramid at Gizeh is exactly dead center of the landmass on planet Earth. Mars. During the period 69 million years ago on Mars, the planet was much like Earth, and they had a war on the planet. Marini has said that many of the animal life forms that were on Mars are now on Earth, and that when we get to Mars as a race, we will find that there were dinosaurs and many of the same animals that we find fossils of now on Earth. Mars was pulled from its original orbit and rolled 3 times. The water moved everything. The bases on Mars were reactivated in 1989 when Orion troops landed and took over colonies that were settled by humans from Earth. These beings are into control. There is no such thing as self-rule in the Orion Empire. There is only one nation on Earth with experience in self-rule, the United States. This is why the focus is on destroying the United States. It's Samaria and Egypt all over again, except on a grander scale. This is the reason the Andromedans are coming back, because some 300 years into our future there is tyranny. It has all been traced back to our solar system. We're in the middle of it. More on crop circles and Hailbop. I have asked about crop circles, which the Andromedans say embodies 5th-dimensional geometry, and I have been told that there are 2 groups leaving the crop circles. They are showing up in the United States, primarily along fault lines on the West Coast, and are suppressed by the media and the federal government. They are making sure that as soon as they are discovered they are destroyed. One group leaving the crop circles is the Andromedan Council, which is made up of 139 different races, which is putting this coded information into the Earth to help stabilize it from Earth calamities. They are trying to buy us time. Other crop circles are being left by the Orion group. Where are they coming from? From Hailbop. Hailbop is not a comet. It is an atmosphere. It has changed course 4 times and will change course 2 more times before it gets here. There is also a similar object coming from the constellation of Cancer that is on its way here. I am told that there are 2 planetary bodies in the tail of what we call Hailbop, and when it passes through our solar system those 2 structures or planetoids will move out of the tail and move into an orbit around Mercury. This is in the period February-March 1997, and they are going to tell us we're here for sure. That's the latest time they can arrive. It is the highest probability that in November of 1996, after Spielberg's movie about Roswell is released, they are going to start telling you things, such as the fact that they are picking up signals. The truth is, they started picking up signals back in 1960, and they were already on the moon with extraterrestrial help. The whole thing is a nested conspiracy, and it is all for the purpose of keeping us fat, dumb and stupid. They don't want to spook the herd, as a friend of mine said. It is because they fear us. If we stand together and ask for benevolent help, folks, it's going to be there. In fact, I have been told that the Andromedan Council has decided to directly intervene, but I don't know how. Right now, as I have said, the Pleiadians are in full-fledged war outside our solar system. There is increasing death on both sides. The Hubble telescope sees it. In fact, there are 2 Hubble telescopes, not just one. The Russians sent one up, but you are not being told about that. The Andromedans also say that we currently have 2 suns in our solar system, but because of the position of Earth, we never see the sister sun. You could see it, though, from the inner planets. They rotate around each other. Cydonia is in the northern hemisphere, and that area was once covered by water. It is along the equator where most of the colonization occurred. Before most of the larger cities on Mars were destroyed, they existed in the southern hemisphere. Phobos is home to a lot of grays at this time. More on the sound frequency from the black holes. On March 23, 1994, 19 suns pole shifted at once in our galaxy. Many are pole shifting all the time. At the same moment that these suns shifted, a new color sound frequency began to emanate from all the black holes in the known universe. Apparently, what the sound and color frequency is doing is that it is creating a holographic frequency above all the others, one that from our level would be considered 12th creational density. The effect is to raise all the other creational densities up. By December 3, 2013, third density as we know it will cease to exist. It is now imploding on itself as it is being raised to a higher frequency. Those of us who stick around for the ride will be moving through 4th into 5th density, just like that. We will start to see very clear indications of this around 2007. More on the political and planetary situation. Whatever you do, please don't turn on each other. The enemy is underground and on the moon. It is not your policeman or neighbor. If you want to do something constructive, and you don't know what to do, just do this one thing. Come November 1996, vote whoever is in office out of office. That will buy us some more time. Start over. The world government has been told that Earth is overpopulated. The truth is that they cannot control all of the people on the planet mentally. There are so many of us. According to the Andromedans, our planet could comfortably handle a population of 11 billion people if we conserved natural resources and used free energy devices. The political systems have broken down, and the politicians don't want to take responsibility for what they have done, and in order to actually fix the problem, they have to give us more freedom, which they don't want to do. It's easier to create a situation where half the planet's population gets wiped out and they're still in charge. I can assure you that the people you call your world leaders will be sitting on the moon, watching all of this happen, and when it's done they will come back with answers, just like a politician. Geological change, energy shifts and energy release. Q. What about the earthquakes? AC. Some of them are natural and some of them are caused. What you basically have here is a planet vibrating with the frequencies of fear and anger. You've got this new frequency called the 12th creational density, which is lifting everything up. The really dense energies cannot move up. In order for the planet itself to move up, it is to cut loose the dense energies. The negativity, when it hits the surface of the planet, is impacting the population. The population is primed for chaos. The world has a reserve food supply of 53 days. The entire world. The United States, if there should be a catastrophe, has only a 7-day supply. Are we going to start feeding off each other? That's our modus operandi. Q. Can you define densities or frequencies? AC. In this case, a density can be considered a frequency of oscillation of light and sound. If what they are saying is right, and this is a 21 trillion year nested holograph we are in, this is just light and sound. Now, there are places in space where there is nothing. According to the Andromedans, those are places that have not been magnetized by thought. The first sign of creation, from the Andromedan perspective, is the electron. The moment that particle is magnetized by thought, it comes alive and starts to create and manifest whatever is energizing it. Q. If reincarnation will be no more here on Earth, where will all the souls go to reincarnate? AC. The Andromedan theory on that is that all physical matter in this 21 trillion year holograph came out of what we know as black holes. At the time our universe was in the process of evolving, other universes were also doing the same thing. Those things which chose to raise their frequency went into black holes. Because spirit cannot be destroyed, it is to create another space to continue to evolve. The Andromedans call that space consciousness. AC. They call our universe consciousness, because that's what created it. They say this happened all over again. The January 1, 1996 issue of the London Sunday Times featured an article which discussed the fact that the Hubble Space Telescope has found a floating black hole which is moving through Virgo, and it is pulling some suns through it, but not others. They are actually watching this thing now. So, there's a God, and whatever it is deciding to do, it's going to happen. The Andromedans call our concept of God the isness. They don't know what it is, only that it holds everything together. If they had to give it a gender, it would probably be female, because it creates life. Q. Although you speak with the Andromedans verbally and physically, you also have telepathic communication with them. What is that telepathic communication like? AC. Telepathy is speaking in holographs. This is an example of how it happens with me. If you were to take the blueprints of a house, which comprise pages showing the foundation, the plumbing, the framing, etc., the whole stack of pages together. When someone is communicating with you telepathically, they are giving you the entire package, as it were, like the whole stack of blueprints, instantly. And then, you have to learn how to unravel it. It took me years to do this, and they have been really patient. I am not the only one, they are talking to 3 other people. I am the 4th. AC. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of energies coming, a lot of earth changes coming. I can tell you this beyond a shadow of a doubt, because I have seen it myself. Within 8 years, Southern California will exist only as 8 islands. It's all going to be water. New York, by the year 2000, will not be there. It will be ash. It will be sacrificed. The powers that be have already made that decision. The souls that live in New York will be an offering. Q. Do you mean that whoever it is will try and capture those souls? AC. Yes. Q. Are you saying that what will happen on the East Coast will be the result of a man-made phenomena, and what will occur on the West Coast will be a natural phenomena? AC. Yes. There are some really evil thinking souls here on Earth.